Yo, what up fam? Welcome back to 88-Bit Tech. I'm AJ and today we are testing the RX 580 8GB 2048 SP that I got off of AliExpress from Soyo. Yeah, let's go ahead and just get into it.
So here are our system specs for the test. We've got a Ryzen 5 5600 CPU pairing with an RX 580 8GB 2048 SP on the Gigabyte B550MK motherboard. We're running 32 gigabytes of CL16 3200 set at 3200 megahertz, as well as 4 terabytes of M.2 NVMe SSDs that's split between 3 different types of NVMe SSDs. We've got a 2 terabyte Samsung, 1 terabyte Fanzhang, and 1 terabyte King Spec NX series, all being powered by the MSI 850 watt B tier PSU on the PSU tier list. First up, we have the newly released Armored Core 6. Oh, and I forgot to change the name of the graphics card I was using in MSI Afterburner, so I added it in post in the upper left-hand corner. I know it's covering up the temps, but no worries, we didn't get higher than 80C, well under the thermal throttle limit for this card. This game is extremely well optimized for a new release. We have this on high settings, motion blur turned off because I hate it, and no FSR. We average 65 frames per second, which is an incredible result for a 2018 graphics card. I should note that this game wouldn't maximize the core clock on the GPU. I fixed it by using the AMD Adrenalin to force max clock speed for this game. You can actually set up a profile for each individual game, and that's what I've done for the games that have this issue. I should also add that I am recording these clips using the Xbox Game Bar at 60 FPS HD quality, so you can expect to lose some frames due to that. However, I'll put in the description of each video in parentheses the FPS that I got without video recording software running, so you can get an untainted result as well. I have slightly underclocked the core and memory clock and slight undervolt to improve stability. I'll get into the why at the end of the video, but enjoy my piloting skills. The next AAA title we have is Diablo 4, and no issues here either. We've got it set up to 1080p, high settings, quality FSR, and we average 63 frames per second. You can actually play this on high without FSR and you'll still get around 55 frames per second on average, which is more than playable. I just prefer the higher frames for this title because without FSR on high settings, in certain battles when it gets a bit hectic, you will see a drop, or at least I saw a drop as low as 40 frames, 40 FPS in battles, and that just makes it a little bit not as smooth as I'd like. So I just stick with quality FSR because it doesn't really, the game still looks amazing with quality FSR on.
As men beget men, terror begets hate, as hate begets destruction.
Moving on to a bit more of a demanding title, we have Witcher 3 Next Gen. We have this set to 1080p low with textures set to medium and balanced FSR, and we averaged 62 frames per second. Really great to see for this little budget graphics card.
Nice talking to you, Zoltan. See you later.
Mug like that won't get you a copper. Got to be elegant like me.
And we've got yet another pretty demanding title. When I ran the benchmark test for Hogwarts Legacy, it set everything to low with no FSR, but that had me well below 60 FPS. It was like around 30. So I have this set up at 1080p low with medium textures, balanced FSR, and got an average of 53 frames per second. For this game, I was willing to not hit 60 FPS to get a bit better textures, and at 53 FPS, it still felt and played amazingly. FYI, this was another game that I had to force the max core clock speed, and I also forgot to mention, for some reason, this GPU doesn't allow for us to monitor the watts it's pulling, but it's only a 6-pin card, so it's gonna be pretty low and energy efficient.
Ah, there you are. Time to go a little quicker. Potato! Stupid one. Stupid one. Leviosa! Defender! A castle. Must have been quite stately in its time.
Enough.
Going stupid one. Glaciers!
Explosion! Incendio!
Glaciers! Crucial! Confrindo! Expelliarmus! Defender! Bombarda!
Don't do that!
Glaciers!
Nice flowers all grow from your ashes.
Ugh. Shame you're so foul.
And we've got no surprise here. For Counter-Strike, we have the settings maxed out, no FSR, probably could run this at 1440p and still have great frames per second, but as with most esports titles, this card will run circles around it. We average 276 frames per second, perfect for all of you running 240Hz monitors. On to Forza Horizon 4. You're probably wondering why I'm not testing this on Forza Horizon 5, and this is simply because 4 is a better, more fun game overall. This is the in-game tool benchmark test. We have it on ultra settings, no FSR, and we averaged 76 frames per second. Last but not least, we have Cyberpunk 2077. We have this at 1080p with max and mostly high to medium settings, performance FSR with some sharpening, and we got an average of 60 frames per second. This game is still one of the most demanding games out there, so it's really great to see that we can get excellent FPS with this 2018 graphics card.
De las experiencias no te engañan. La policía de Night City recomienda evitar los enemigos que se hacen pasar por veteranos.
There you have it, guys. The RX 588 8GB 2048 SP is still, in 2023, in my honest opinion, the budget king when it comes to GPUs, especially if you're getting it off of AliExpress. As long as you're getting it from a reputable vendor, I would recommend Soyo. A bit of a caveat here, my specific card did end up having some artifacting, and I reached out to Soyo. They actually did refund me $15 US, so this card ended up costing me probably around $50 US, which is pretty sick. And I was able to fix the card myself just by underclocking it, the core clock and the memory clock ever so slightly. I've underclocked it so little and undervolted it so just a minor undervolt that I pretty much lost no performance when it came to my FPS on any game. If I did, it was like maybe 1 FPS or something like that. So minimal. The result of that is I just have a now way more stable GPU at a really good price. So I would recommend Soyo. They do have a couple different stores, so you be careful, but I will post a link to the super sale that's going on right now. It's I think right now you can actually get this card delivered for $58 US, which is an insane value. Like, I mean, as you can see, it played like modern titles, AAA titles have just come out at really good frames, and even was able to play Cyberpunk, albeit with performance FSR 2.0, or rather 2.1 at 60 FPS. Still astounding result for a mix of high to medium settings. And that's only going to get better with FSR 3.0 that's going to come out that will work with the RX 580 8GB 2048 SP. So if you're looking to get into PC gaming and you want a good GPU just to start off, you can't go wrong with the 2048 SP. It's an exceptional value for what you're getting. And with that, thank you guys for tuning in. I'll leave a link for this card in the description below if you did want to pick it up. It is an affiliate link, so it will help me out. I do appreciate that. And yeah, if you guys have any questions on this card or anything like that, please feel free to leave a comment. If you like the video, please like the video and subscribe so you can see more of what I have coming out. I definitely have some more videos coming out here, especially I am going to be reviewing an RX 5700 that I've upgraded from this card that I also got off of AliExpress from a different vendor, but that's going to be a really cool video as well. Thanks for tuning in. See you guys in the next one. Cheers.